Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy. Maggie Mae is over there.
Lounging on the sofa.
That's right.
Join us as we follow the moon. And today, we are celebrating our 6th Nomadiversary. 6 years ago, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, we left our home, our house, I should say. We brought our home with us. And we've been on the road since then. We do not have a storage. No storage unit. No house left sitting there empty, being rented, whatever. We are definitely full time.
We have everything we need right here.
Absolutely. So we want to talk a little bit about 6 years on the road. Get comfortable there.
Yes, that's right.
But 6 years on the road, and there's been things that have been great. There have been challenges. If you've been following our channel, you know that the rig that we travel in has changed several times during that time. And in fact, we are going to be in Red Bay, Alabama here in the next several weeks to get a lot of new renovations done on our Tiffin, and I don't see this one changing anytime soon.
Yeah, we're not going to change it right afterwards.
No. Not with what we're spending in Red Bay. So, Cathy, tell me and tell everybody out there that's watching, what are your feelings as far as our time on the road? The good, the bad.
And the ugly?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the ugly is when we sit up in the morning and look in the mirror that's sitting in our face, we go, whoa! No, honestly, the good, I do have mixed feelings always, and I think everyone on the road does. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, there's family that you're not taking with you. So this is why we have done this, is to bring you all with us. But yeah, it is sometimes emotional when you think about we're on one coast, they're on another, and so I do have mixed feelings in that respect, absolutely. But I also know that those people are busy, that they have their lives. We're not just fresh retirees. I know that people have, they always have taken me to be much younger than I really am. Especially when they ask, one time somebody, used to work together, and they thought that I was his mother.
Yeah, I don't quite see that.
But you remember the sign in the window? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. But, they're busy, just like we were when we were younger and our kids were in school and growing up. And we spent probably a good 10 years after the last one graduated, the last two graduated. And so we did spend time, and we realized that our empty nest was not taking us anywhere. And I think it's important that that retirees stay active and do things that are fresh and new to maintain their mental and physical abilities. And I do believe that this journey has just been filling up my mind completely. It really is just so exciting. We didn't think we liked history or geography or geology or any of those things, and we find ourselves just really immersed in it, and it's just an amazing journey.
Absolutely. The kids are a reason that people will do this or not do this.
That's right.
Our instance, the kids all live within about an hour of each other. It's not like one's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast, and people will do the full-time RV thing so they can spend time with one of the kids, then go to the other one. Ours are all in the same area. So when we're on the road, we're away from all of them. It's not like we're on our way towards one or away from one or whatever the situation. So you can make it work either way. There's
Absolutely.
Definitely advantages if your kids are spread across the country. It gives you an opportunity to travel and spend time with them.
Well, and we do that with friends and other family. My family that I grew up with, my brothers and sisters and cousins, we make sure that, and friends that we've had throughout the years, not only high school friends, but friends that we've known as we were mature adults. Well, adults.
In fact, on our way to Red Bay, we are stopping through and visiting family just a couple of days apiece, covering a week, getting down to Red Bay. But
we actually see them more.
Yeah.
Since we're on the road.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
So it is a wonderful thing.
There were some I hadn't met until we were on the road.
That's right.
So, as far as living in an RV, yes, there's always challenges. You always hear about you're driving an earthquake down the road. And that's absolutely true. Things are going to get shaken loose. Things are going to shift. Things are going to break. But I can't remember too many times owning a sticks and bricks that there wasn't either something being repaired or something that needed to be repaired.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. It's just different stuff.
We open the cupboards carefully.
Yes.
One hand on the thing and the other one going up. But you do get used to it. And I think, today is actually a pack-up day for us. Mm-hmm. And we used to find pack-up day, for me, there was some anxiety, putting things away and packing things in. And we've got it to where now we'll actually go out and spend the day running around and visiting things and seeing stuff, going on hikes and coming in, and 10 minutes before going to bed, we're just running through because it has become so easy. It's, what's the word?
It's become very systematic.
Yes.
We've got a routine.
Routine, yes. And do we decorate? Probably not as much as I did in the very beginning, but absolutely, I still enjoy the pleasant surroundings that you have in your home, the things, just not as many of them. And I will say, if you do this, you will find how liberating it is to not have the amount of stuff. I remember somebody saying that my house looked like a well set up thrift store because I had every corner filled. And now we do it with pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures make it easy.
And I do want to address one thing about full-time RVing, and that was a comment that was brought up on social media a while back about something to the effect of how much money we have thrown away on RVs. So I want to just back up on that one just a second. When we did our 5-year a year ago, we were in the Quantum, our Class C. And we went to that Class C because the Allegro Red that we had, nothing wrong with the coach. We love the coach. We love the floor plan. If we didn't, we wouldn't have gotten the same floor plan in a smaller version now. But when we went from our Tiffin diesel pusher to that Class C, we traded to a brand new Class C and got a substantial check back. So that one didn't cost us money, and with what we paid for that Red pre-COVID, we didn't get hurt on that Red either. When it came time that we realized we had downsized too far, we weren't comfortable with the space to cook, to work, even just to coexist. You were spending a lot of your time sitting in the bed watching TV so that I had quiet and sanity to edit, and it just wasn't a good living situation.
And also, couples need space where they can be apart. Mm-hmm. And it was just a little close for us.
Yeah.
So
when we traded for the Tiffin that we have now, we paid very, very little money, a 4-figure check, to go into this Class A because we were trading back a few years in model, which, knowing the quality of the Tiffin, knowing pre-COVID, I was all for. Now we are going to Red Bay. We're getting some renovations done on the coach. We have our chassis and generator maintenance we're going to have done, and we've got 2 very minor small repairs, and that's all the repairs that we've got on this coach to have done while we're there. Everything else is just additions or changes. So just to address that, you can do this, and I've seen people in the guise of saving money spend outrageous amounts of money to keep their coach on the road, and it doesn't have to be that way at all.
Yeah.
So
and you just have to really figure out what works. And plus, the Quantum actually was a benefit last year in many of the places that we went for parking, for getting in and out. It wasn't as much as of a mistake as what you would think. It was, we were doing what we needed to do at the time for our journey. And that's what you kind of have to think about, is your journey. The size may be inappropriate for, and I won't say inappropriate, but just more challenging for what you're doing in that journey. And if you can do it without breaking the bank, you know, we still eat, I still shop. Just like if I were in the sticks and bricks, I still like to go clothes shopping, and we just don't buy furniture.
Well, to sum that all up, we got back a check when we bought the Quantum. We paid a little bit of money when we got this. We're doing renovations on this, and we are still positive cash on all those transactions. We, even after what we're going to be spending in Red Bay on renovations, we're still going to be to the good. So it can be done. You just have to be smart in how you shop. We're retired, you know, we have our YouTube and that sort of thing, but we are retired, and we know what income we have. Hopefully it continues. And with that, we don't want to overspend and put ourselves in a position. So you need to go into RVing with that same mindset. 6 years in, what's your thoughts about going into year 7?
Oh, I'm excited. We haven't set a clear of what we're going to do other than for the next the rest of this season's. I've had some thoughts, but we haven't really talked a whole lot about it, because at this point we only have a couple more states that we haven't seen, and once we've seen those, I can't see that taking a whole season, considering how much we saw this last time.
Right.
But we will be going back into places now where, as we left, we thought, oh, we didn't get to see that. You know, well, next time through. So we have a lot of next time throughs to go back and explore. And
Route 66 has been an incredible adventure. We have loved every minute of doing this, but it has been a very different travel style for us. We are spending 4 nights in a campground. I don't think we've spent longer than a week anywhere as we went across. And then we are spending 3 2-night stays visiting relatives, going down to Red Bay. And I think once we get done in Red Bay, it's going to be just a huge sigh of relief that we're not on a time frame, because we've been trying to get all of this recorded on 66 and make it to our appointments on Red Bay on time. And once we get through that, I think our travel style may change a little bit, as far as maybe staying no less than a week, maybe a couple of weeks at a time in places. and slow things down just a little bit to recoup from it, because we've been flying.
Oh yes, it's been a marathon. But one of the things you just said, 4 nights. We got here, and when we again, Route 66 is a different kind of journey that you might think, well, how are they doing that? Where did they stay? We do go, we find campgrounds along the way, and then we park it just like we did when we were going to any other place. We get out early in the morning and we run. And because we are feeling like a little bit of a time crunch because we have appointments set, that we have been keeping it real short and trying to scramble. So as soon as we get into a location, we spend the next 2 days, and we also have to work around weather. And if anybody knows anything right now, there's been tornadoes all around us. But we've been really fortunate. I keep saying blessed, because I feel like we are protected. But we got here, and the first couple of days we scrambled and got everything that we had projected to go see. And then it's like, well, we got a couple days, and on one hand you think, well, are we wasting time? But on the other time, we spent days doing laundry and cleaning and stuff that kind of gets pushed back a little bit as we're running. And so it's catching up on maintenance, that sort of thing.
And that's going to be one thing for while we're in Red Bay. We are going to have the coach stationary there for about a week and a half, and then make a couple of moves after that. But during that time that's stationary, when we can't really be moving the coach around, gives me a good opportunity to go through and get all of my maintenance caught up that has been kind of sliding here the last few weeks.
Yeah,
so
it hasn't been bad though.
No. So with that, we wanted to let you know where things are at after 6 years. We are certainly not looking at an exit plan. We're not looking at getting off the road. We're not looking about buying a house. We're not looking to be part-timers. We're still in this.
We have so many places that we absolutely love that you when you pull in there, you look around and go, wow, this is really cool. And then after a couple of days, you go, okay, I've seen this. I really need to get on, because we know that this United States has so many places. Everybody thinks you have to journey across the pond, and we've just got so much that is incredible to see here. I think you could spend your whole life just journeying around the United States and still never see it all.
And just because we've touched the states that we've touched doesn't mean we've seen everything that they each have to offer too.
That's
There's
right.
still lots of new places to go.
Well, when you think about Florida, that's where we were when we started this journey. And for those of you who know, right after the day that we left the house, within about 4 days, your mom passed. And then it was a couple of years. We had, his dad was in his 80s, mid to late.
Yeah.
And he really needed for us to be close by. So we, sitting in a general area, traveling around a general area, we started exploring the backyard that we had lived in for 25 years and found how much we never saw. So when we think about going back to other places, we know that we spend a little bit more time there, we're going to discover we only touched the surface.
That's right. So if you're on the fence whether you should do it or whether you shouldn't, I'll wholeheartedly say full-time was one of the best life decisions I feel we've ever made.
Yeah, and if you're not ready to do full-time, go for the weekend.
Yeah.
Go for a month. Take as much time as you can afford, and you don't have to have a large coach or a medium coach. Some people are doing it in their cars. Just get out and see some of this.
Especially when you're out west, the amount of B vans, the amount of Jeeps with tents on the roof.
Yeah.
It's amazing how people are getting out there.
Yeah, and don't think you're too old. because
or too young.
yeah, I'm not well into my 70s, but I'm getting close to the middle of those, and I'm just I'm having a ball, and I want to share that for those of you who can't, and inspire those of you who wonder.
And for those of you who are younger and still working full-time jobs and maybe still have kids at home, the amount of full-time families that are out here on the road is absolutely incredible. It can be done, and what an education those kids get, not reading about it in a book, but actually seeing it and experiencing it.
Just touching the places physically makes a huge difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
So with that, if you've enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them. We'll give you the best advice we can possibly give you. And with that, until next time.
Thank you for following us as we follow the moon.